Ava's suitcase was in the hallway before I even opened the front door. I stood there, one hand still on the knob, staring at the luggage like it might lunge. My name was still on the bedroom door. My toothbrush was still in the cup. My books were stacked on the desk. And yet, Ava's life was already being unpacked into mine. "Lena," my mom called out from the kitchen. "Be nice." I hadn't said a word yet. I stepped inside. Ava was sitting on my bed, apparently scrolling through her phone like she'd always lived here. She didn't even look up. "Hey," she said, like we were old friends. "Love your lamp." She meant the one she'd just moved to her side of the bed. I didn't answer. I just stood there, the air thick with something sour. She smiled soft knowing, and in that moment, I understood something clearly. This wasn't about Ava needing a place. It was about me losing mine. That night, I pretended to sleep. Ava climbed into the bed like she owned it, sliding under my blanket without hesitation. She sighed long and dramatic, like it was her long day. Her perfume clawed at my throat, sugary and strong, the kind you wear to be noticed. She didn't ask if I was okay sharing the bed. She didn't care. I stared at the ceiling, silent. There was a picture taped above my head, a Polaroid of me and Dad before he left. Ava's elbow knocked it loose. She didn't notice. I found it on the floor the next morning. Bent. Stepped on. The first piece of me crushed. By the third day, she moved my books. By the fifth, my closet. On the seventh, she'd shoved my shoes into a box marked donate. My name wasn't on the door anymore. I told Mom. "You're overreacting," she said. "Ava's family now. Try to grow up." I didn't speak. But inside, I began to plan. Lena doesn't talk much. That's what makes it easy. She thinks silence is strength. It's not. It's permission. By the end of the first week, I had her room the way I liked it, my diffuser on the dresser, my music in the air, my clothes in the closet, her stuff, boxed, folded, hidden, like it had never mattered. She looked so uncomfortable, always tense, like she couldn't breathe. But she never fought back. I told Ethan I felt bad. He kissed my hand. "She'll be fine," he said. "She's used to being alone." Exactly. Caroline kept thanking me for bringing warmth to the house. Ethan was sweet, easy, a little dumb. I could work with that. But Lena? There was something about her eyes. She wasn't confused or scared. She was watching, studying me like a problem she already knew how to solve. Whatever. I've dealt with girls like her before. But as I walked past her that night, I felt a shift in the air. And it didn't feel like a win. Lena's always been difficult. Not dramatic, not loud, just hard to reach. She's got that quiet anger, the kind that doesn't break things, just stares through you. Ava? She's sunshine. She cooks sometimes. She compliments my outfits. She asks about my day. She's easy to love. So no, I didn't ask Lena before letting Ava move in. I knew the answer would be no. And I was tired of the Cold War. Just until she finds a place, it said. But I didn't mean it. Not really. Ava made this house feel like a home again. Like when it was just me and Ethan and baby Lena. Before everything got so tight. And Ethan is finally happy. That means something. Lena has always made everything harder than it had to be. And if she's struggling now, maybe it's time she learned that not everything in life bends for her comfort. Still, I saw her staring at Ava from the hallway last night. Something in her eyes. It didn't look like sadness. It looked like strategy. I thought they'd work it out. Lena's tough, but she doesn't hold grudges. Or at least, she never used to. Now she just watches. That's the only way to describe it. Like she's listening for something underneath your words. I walked into the room yesterday and saw her folding her clothes on the floor. Not in the closet. The closet was Ava's now. She didn't look up. "You good?" I asked. She nodded. "Really?" She didn't answer. It's awkward. I love my sister, but I love Ava too. And I don't get why Lena's being so dramatic. She barely used the space anyway. It's just a bed, a closet. It's not like we kicked her out, right? But last night, I woke up and saw Lena standing by the window. Just standing there in the dark, not moving, eyes open, wide. She didn't see me watching. She didn't blink. And I had the sudden, sharp thought, maybe she's not going to forgive this. Maybe she's not supposed to. It started with the pillow, then the bed, the closet, the desk, the light, the air, and now the silence. I don't cry. They expect that. I don't scream. Ava would love that. I don't explain. No one would listen. So I adapt. I sleep on a mattress in the corner now. No bed frame. No drawers. Just a stack of notebooks and a lamp that flickers when it rains. Ava fills the room with her life, TikTok videos, skincare rituals, constant chatter with Ethan. Her voice is inescapable. Caroline barely sees me anymore. Maybe she doesn't want to. I've become a shadow, a ghost she doesn't have to feed. But ghosts remember everything. I keep notes in one of my journals, names, dates, quotes. I listen to Ava's calls. She forgets I'm here. That's her mistake. One night soon, she'll say the wrong thing to the wrong person. And I'll be ready. Because when you strip someone of everything, they don't vanish. They evolve. I opened the bathroom door last night and Lena was just standing there. Not brushing her teeth, not washing her face. Just standing at the sink, staring at her reflection like she didn't recognize it. She didn't move when I walked in. Didn't even flinch. "Do you need?" She turned her head. Slowly, calmly. "No," that's all she said. But I felt it, like the air between us turned to ice. Later, I checked the closet. One of my sweaters was missing. I asked Ethan. He said Lena wouldn't touch my stuff. Wouldn't she? I caught her watching me today. Not by accident, intentionally. Her eyes were flat, like she was taking measurements for something I couldn't see. I told Caroline Lena's behavior was getting a little concerning. She laughed. She's always been dramatic. "No, this isn't drama. This is something else. I'm used to people not liking me. But Lena, she's not trying to be liked. She's waiting for something. And I think I just gave her a reason." Ava stole one of my notebooks. Not even the important one, she's not that smart, but one of the older ones from last year. I noticed it missing before dinner. Found it in the bathroom cabinet, hidden behind a stack of her perfume bottles. She must have thought I wouldn't notice. She's trying to figure me out now. Too late. I write every night. Details, habits, who lies and when, what they say when they think I'm not listening. Ava talks in her sleep. Ethan cheats at small things. Caroline deletes unread texts from people she used to know. I see it all, and they don't see me. Tonight, I left Avi's missing sweater under her pillow. Not folded, just there. No note, no mention. I want her nervous. I want her confused. I want her to feel the itch I've been living with for weeks. And if she starts to fall apart, if she says I'm messing with her, they'll say she's paranoid. Just like they say I'm dramatic. Let's see how long she holds it together. I don't know when it shifted, but it has. Avi's been tense lately, snapping at small things, double-checking the locks. She even asked if I had cameras in the house. Why would I? She didn't answer. She keeps saying Lena's creeping her out, that she stares too long, moves too quiet. She's not wrong, but I'm not sure what she wants me to do. Kick my sister out? I tried talking to Lena, asked if everything was okay. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Everything's exactly how it's supposed to be." It didn't sound comforting. Avi's changed too. She used to be playful. Now she sleeps with her door half shut and always asks me where Lena is. I thought letting her move in would fix everything. But it feels like I've poured gasoline on something I can't see. And Lena? She's not angry anymore. She's calm, and that scares me more. I woke up at 3:14 a.m., no sound, just something. I got up and walked down the hallway. The door to the girls' room was cracked open. I saw Lena sitting on the floor, writing in one of those little notebooks of hers. Hair in her face, motionless except for the scratch of her pen. Ava was curled in bed, facing the wall. The air between them was dead still. I stood there, unnoticed. I should have said something. I didn't. Later that morning, Ava made coffee with shaking hands. I asked if she slept okay. "No," she said. "Do you ever listen to your daughter?" She didn't wait for a response. It's easier to blame Lena, but lately I'm not sure. I found an old family photo tucked under the couch cushion. Ethan, a baby. Lena, maybe 5 years old. Her smile was crooked, forced. Like she knew even then that something wasn't fair. I put the photo back. There's a storm building in this house, and I think I've been pretending not to see it. Last night, I woke up to the sound of my name. Not spoken, whispered. I sat up, heart pounding. The room was dark except for the hallway light leaking through the crack in the door. Lena wasn't in her corner of the room. I checked the closet, the bathroom. Nothing. This morning my necklace was gone. A tiny gold one Ethan gave me last year. I searched everywhere. Then I found it looped neatly around my toothbrush. No one said a word. I told Ethan I thought Lena was messing with me. He said I was being dramatic, that I was probably just stressed. Exactly what I said about her. But I see it now, she's playing a game. I never learned the rules too. I walk on eggshells. She walks on glass and doesn't bleed. I was supposed to take over this house. But now I wake up wondering if I'll even survive it. I didn't touch her necklace. She dropped it 3 days ago in the laundry room. I watched her look for it in the kitchen, then again in the car. I kept it in my notebook pocket until the right moment. Placing it on the toothbrush wasn't about revenge. It was about control. I know where her limits are now. She checks her phone 5 times before she sleeps. She double locks the window. She wears the same hoodie every night, actually because she thinks it keeps her safe. Nothing does. Ethan watches me more now. Caroline avoids me like I'll ask for something. I won't. They've taught me what asking gets you in this house. Dismissed. I won't be dismissed again. I don't need to yell or scream. That's not how this works. I just make things shift. Tiny things. The wrong light bulb. A song played twice in one day. Her charger missing, then reappearing. A scent that shouldn't be there. She thinks she's paranoid. She's not. I'm just better at this than she is. Vi's breaking down. I don't know how to help. Everything I say feels like gasoline. She's jumpy, paranoid. She says Lena's trying to make her lose her mind and I don't even argue anymore. Because maybe she is, or maybe Ava deserves it. I keep thinking about how fast she took over. How easily she replaced Lena, her bed, her desk, her place in the house. Like it meant nothing. I let it happen. I told myself Lena didn't care. But now I see it. The silence, the stillness. That's not surrender, it's calculation. She's planning something. And for the first time in my life, I don't know whose side I'm on. Ava's beautiful, exciting, but there's a crack in her. And Lena? She's quiet, sure. But there's steel underneath that silence. One of them is going to break. And I'm afraid it's going to be me caught in the middle. Ava screamed this morning. Over nothing, a drawer left open. Said she knows it was Lena. I asked how she knew. She said she felt it. I snapped. Told her to stop playing the victim. That if she couldn't live peacefully, maybe she should start looking elsewhere. Her face changed. She left the room without a word. Later, I found Lena sitting on the porch. She looked calm, serene, almost, like she already knew everything that was about to happen. I watched her from the kitchen window. I keep remembering, when she was little, the way she used to line her toy animals up by color, order, precision. She always needed control, maybe because I never gave her any. Maybe this whole thing started long before Ava ever got here. I thought I was protecting my son, but now I see, I left my daughter defenseless, and she's no longer waiting to be rescued. She's building her escape, or her revenge. I told Ethan I couldn't sleep here anymore. He said, "Where would you go?" Like it wasn't obvious anywhere but here. I've lived with roommates. I've had jealous girls, cold mothers, petty sisters. But Lena? She's strategic. She doesn't fight. She infiltrates. I opened my phone yesterday and found a voice memo playing. I didn't remember recording it. It was my own voice, angry, ranting, saying things I know I never said. I asked Ethan if he'd listened. He didn't even know what I was talking about. I told Caroline. She told me to take a walk. No one believes me anymore. That's what she's done. She didn't just move me out of her space, she's moved me out of reality. I don't know what's real anymore. But one thing is clear. I'm not winning. And if I don't leave soon, I think Lena's going to make me disappear. One piece at a time. And Ava cried in the kitchen this morning. No one rushed to her. Caroline stayed on the phone. Ethan stayed in the hallway. I stayed quiet. That's the difference between her and me. She demands attention. I dismantle it. I left her phone unlocked last night. Just long enough for her to notice. Her camera app had been opened then closed. Her recent calls shuffled. Small glitches. Not enough to prove. Just enough to poison her trust in herself. That's the beauty of silence. They taught me how to disappear in this house. Now I'm using it. Ava walks around like she's being hunted. Because she is. Not by monsters, by memory. By guilt. By everything she stole from me. Caroline is watching me more now. She doesn't say anything, but I feel it. Good. I want her to see me. Too late, but fully. You can't erase a daughter just because she makes you uncomfortable. But I can erase everything you love in return. When we were kids, Lena stopped talking for 3 months after Dad left. Not one word. Caroline said she was being difficult. I thought she was just sad. But now, looking back, I think she was deciding. Deciding how to live without anyone. Ava's unraveling fast. She accused Lena of stealing her charger. Then of changing the language settings on her phone. Then she cried in the bathtub for an hour. I told her to breathe. She told me I was blind. Maybe I am. Maybe I always have been. But Lena, she doesn't look like she's fighting anyone. She looks like she's already won. And that scares the hell out of me. Because what if this isn't revenge? What if this is just Lena showing us who she really is? Lena brought me tea today. She's never done that before. She didn't say anything. Just placed it beside me and walked away. I stared at it for 10 minutes before touching it. That's where I'm at now, afraid of tea. Afraid of the daughter I ignored. Who I let live in the shadows while I praised her brother, embraced Ava, and acted like survival was enough parenting. It wasn't. Now she moves through the house like smoke. No sound, no trail, just cold shifts of air and a presence that bends the walls. Ava's not just breaking, she's being broken. And the part that haunts me is I don't know if Lena's doing it all on purpose, or if this is just who she became because of me. I slapped Lena. She didn't flinch. She just turned her head slowly back to me and said, "Thank you for proving my point." Ethan was screaming. Caroline rushed in. No one touched me, but they all looked at me like I was the villain. "I'm not crazy," I shouted. "She's gaslighting me. She's psychotic." But Lena didn't react. Not even a smirk. She left the room like it wasn't even worth her time. And just like that, I lost. They didn't defend me. They didn't believe me. And the worst part, I don't know what's real anymore. Did I leave the stove on last night? Did I lock the bathroom door? Did Lena move my things, or did I? I've become exactly what she wanted, uncertain, angry, alone. I thought I could outsmart her. But she never needed to be smarter than me. Just quieter. Ava hit me. It was a gift. Not because I wanted pain. I've lived with worse than a slap. but because now they saw it. They saw her lose control. They saw the chaos in her eyes. And they saw me unmoved, calm, deliberate. I walked out of the room because there was nothing else to say. Ava did all the talking for me. Ethan followed me, asking if I was okay. I said I was, because I was. Caroline watched me with something new in her eyes. Not pity, not confusion, fear. She should be afraid. She let them silence me. She handed my room to someone who sees people as props. She never defended me when I needed her. Now she's too late. The difference is, Ava wants power to feel big. I want power so I'm never small again. I helped Ava move in. I moved her bags. I helped her hang her clothes. I told her it would be fine. What I didn't see, what I never wanted to see, is that I made it okay to erase Lena. She didn't fight back then. She didn't cry. She just shrunk. I thought that meant she didn't care. I get it now. I was the knife, and Ava just knew how to use it. I asked Lena today, really asked, why didn't you say something? She looked at me and said, you wouldn't have heard it. She was right. She's been living in a house that only listens when something breaks. And she's the one who learned how to break things quietly. I looked at Lena today and saw my mother, not in her face, in her stillness. In the way she swallows pain whole. In the way she doesn't beg for love, just carves out silence until people feel it in their bones. I did this. I thought I was surviving, raising two kids alone, trying to hold everything together. I praised the loud one, ignored the quiet one. I let strength look like silence and never asked what that silence cost her. Now Ava's packing. Ethan won't look me in the eye. And Lena? She brought me tea again. Same mug, same stare, no words. She doesn't need to speak. I'm finally listening anyway. I packed in silence. No one helped me. No one asked me to stay. Caroline offered a soft let me know if you need anything. Like I was leaving for a vacation, not being exiled from a war zone I lost. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw something. But I didn't, because I knew that's what they were waiting for. One last meltdown to justify their guilt. So I zipped my bag and walked past Lena. She didn't move. She just stood in the doorway, arms crossed, head slightly tilted like she was inspecting a painting she was finally done looking at. I whispered, you win. She didn't answer, because she already had. And the worst part is I don't think she did it out of hate. I think she did it because I reminded her what it feels like to be erased. And she wanted me to feel it too. Ava walked out at 9:03 p.m. I didn't watch from the window. I didn't follow her to the door. I didn't even listen to her footsteps. I didn't need to. The house finally exhaled when she left. Ethan mumbled something about checking on her later. Caroline started washing dishes she'd already cleaned. Me? I went back to the room. My room. The closet was half empty. The mirror wasn't fogged with perfume. The air felt breathable again. But it didn't feel like peace. It felt like silence after a storm that isn't over yet. Because Ava was a symptom, not the cause. She took what she could, but they let her. And now that she's gone, I have a choice. I can move on. Or I can show them how much damage silence can really do. Ava's gone. But the tension isn't. I thought Lena would relax, breathe easier, smile, but she hasn't. She moves through the house with this eerie calm, like she's waiting for something else to fall apart. Or maybe planning it. I asked her if she wanted help moving her things back. She said they never left. That's when I realized this was never just about Ava. It was about being forgotten. Now that she's been noticed, I don't think Lena's going back to being invisible. I don't know what she's going to do. But I know this, she has everyone exactly where she wants them. And I might be next. I stood outside her room for 10 minutes before I knocked. Lena opened the door halfway. No smile, no anger, just that expressionless face that's somehow louder than words. I was wrong, I said. She blinked. Once. Slowly. I shoulder protected you. Still no reply. I let things happen to you that I would have killed someone for if they happened to Ethan. That's when she spoke. You still would. It wasn't a question. It was a fact. I don't know if she'll ever forgive me. But I'm starting to understand something. Forgiveness isn't the point anymore. Recognition is. The bed feels smaller now. Not because Ava's gone, because I've grown. Not taller, not older, but heavier, denser, like grief hardened into stone somewhere in my chest. Caroline tiptoes around me now. Ethan doesn't call me kiddo anymore. The silence they used to force on me has turned into fear. But I don't want fear. Not exactly. I want them to feel. To sit with what they did. What they didn't do. What they allowed. I opened my old notebooks today, the ones I wrote when I still hoped someone would notice. I used to think they were journals. Now I know they were evidence. Of absence. Of neglect. Of choice. I haven't decided what I'll do with them yet. But I will. I bought Lena a new desk lamp. She left it in the box. I offered to help move furniture back. She said no. I tried to apologize again, really tried, but she looked at me like I was a stranger on a bus asking for change. And maybe I am. I used to think siblings just bounce back. That you could fight, ignore, come back, reset. But this wasn't a fight. This was a fracture. one I helped carve, then stepped over 4 years. Now I want to go back and do it, but I think she's past that now. She's not punishing me. She's reminding me that I don't deserve access just because I feel guilty. I walked past Lena's room this morning and noticed the door was wide open. 4 years, it was always cracked, barely open, half lit, like even the room didn't want to be noticed. Not anymore. There are plants now, lights strung from the ceiling, music not loud but present, a photo of her and her father on the desk, straightened. She's claiming space again, and somehow, that's scarier than the silence ever was. Because this isn't recovery, it's a warning. She's not asking for anything anymore. She's just building a life that doesn't need our permission, and I don't know if we're welcome in it. Caroline keeps trying to say sorry. Ethan keeps showing up with gifts and guilt. But what they don't understand is, I don't want their regret. I want them to know that I remember every dinner where I ate in silence, every family photo where I stood at the edge, every time I was told to be the bigger person because no one else would shrink, and I want them to sit with it. Not because I'm cruel, but because if I let them forget, then I disappear again. And I didn't survive all this just to fade back into the walls. I started speaking more, not loudly, precisely. I correct Ethan when he retells stories with himself at the center. I ask Caroline questions she used to brush off. I take up space at the dinner table again. I look them in the eye, and when they falter, I don't soften it. I let the silence sit. They called me difficult once. Now they call me direct. Funny how language shifts when you're no longer small. I've been applying to internships, real ones out of town. I haven't told anyone yet. This house taught me not to rely on home as a place, only as a lesson. And the lesson is never let someone else write your narrative. I was clearing out a drawer when I found a crumpled envelope with my name in Eva's handwriting. She must have left it during her last night here. I opened it, expecting a goodbye. Instead, it was a list. Names, screenshots, time-stamped photos of Lena's notebooks. She had been digging. She knew Lena was tracking us, recording patterns, building a quiet case. And somehow, I didn't feel angry. I felt exposed. Because Ava wasn't wrong. Lena didn't just survive us. She documented us. And I think she's still deciding what to do with everything she knows. It's been weeks since Ava left, and today she came back. Just stood at the edge of the driveway, arms crossed, as scanning the windows. She didn't walk up, didn't knock. She just waited, then left. Lena was gone when it happened at the library, she said. But I don't believe in coincidences anymore. When she returned, I asked, "Did you know Ava came by?" She said, "I hoped she would." Then she went to her room and closed the door. And for the first time in my life, I realized Lena isn't afraid of Ava. Ava's afraid of Lena. I knew Ava would come back. She has questions, loose ends, things she thought she buried. But she doesn't understand the difference between possession and presence. She took my bed, my books, my space, but she never took me. She only tried, and failed. I watched her from the upstairs window today. She didn't see me, or maybe she did and pretended not to. Either way, the message was clear. If she wants closure, she's going to have to earn it. And I'm not interested in revenge anymore. I'm interested in truth, even if it burns. I couldn't let it go. I drove back to the house without a plan. Just anger and fear. I needed to see her face. I needed to know what she wrote about me, what she's kept. Because I know she kept it. Every look, every slight, every silence. And I deserved to know. But standing outside the house felt different now. Like I didn't belong anymore. Like the air didn't recognize me. I didn't knock. I couldn't. I stood there hoping she'd come out. Hoping she'd see me and speak. But the curtains stayed still. And when Caroline opened the door, she didn't say hello. She said, "Why are you here?" Not cruel. Just done. I didn't answer. Just left. But he'll come back. Lena has something of mine. Even if it's just the version of me she wrote down. And I want it. Ava came back. She didn't say a word. Just stood outside like a ghost begging to be acknowledged. I watched from upstairs, hand resting on the edge of the curtain. I could have gone down. Cold handed her the notebook. Cold said everything I wanted to say when it actually mattered. But she doesn't get that. Not anymore. She didn't come back for healing. She came back to reclaim the story. Her version. But I'm the one who lived it. I rewrote the story without her. Without Ethan. Without Caroline. I'm not erasing them, I'm just refocusing. They can exist on the edges now. Where I used to be. And Ava? She's not in the new pages. Not even as a footnote. I found one of Lena's notebooks in the attic. It had my name in it, pages of it. Things it said. Things I didn't remember saying until I read them. "You're overreacting. She doesn't mean anything by it. She can stay in your room. It's not forever." All things I thought were harmless at the time. Now I see what they actually were, little betrayals. Every one of them. I don't know if she left it there on purpose. Maybe she wanted me to find it. Maybe she wanted me to feel it. And I do. I finally see her. Not as the girl I thought was overreacting. but as someone who was being buried slowly, carefully, by all of us. Lena's stronger now, but it's the kind of strength you grow in darkness where no one brings you light, so you become your own fire. I see it in the way she speaks, the way she holds eye contact too long, the way she doesn't ask for anything. She doesn't need us anymore. And that terrifies me, because I thought I was raising her to be resilient. What I actually did was raise a girl who doesn't trust love unless it hurts first. That's not strength. That's survival, and I gave it to her. The last notebook is still here. I didn't hide it. I left it on the desk, unlocked, open, in plain sight. Anyone could read it now. Ava, if she comes back again. Ethan, if he wants another piece of the truth. Caroline, if she finally decides to face herself completely. But I don't need to guard it anymore. It's not a weapon. It's a record, a history, a warning. The house feels quieter now, not the uneasy silence it used to be, but the kind that comes after something ends. I've been accepted into the program I wanted. Out of town. I start next month. I didn't tell anyone yet, because for once it's mine. They took so much space, safety, trust, but they never took me, and I'm done giving away what they never earned. I packed light, not because I didn't have much, but because I only wanted to take what mattered. A few books, my notebooks, my lamp, the photo of me and Dad, the original, not the one Ava stepped on. Caroline offered to help. I said no. Ethan asked if he'd be back for the holidays. I told him maybe. I didn't leave in anger. I left in truth. This house taught me what happens when you let people write your story for you. It taught me how silence can be louder than screams. How being invisible isn't peaceful, it's violent. But I'm visible now. I'm heard. I'm me, and for the first time, I don't need them to see it. I see it. That's enough. The door closed behind me, and I didn't look back.